Hey, what's up, chat? Welcome to the Unit 7 Study Guide walkthrough video. Hey, as always, this video is best used if you have completed the study guide on your own, or if you are answering this while you watch it, complete the question first, then watch the video to check your work. If you're just watching it and haven't attempted to solve the problems yourself, then this really is not as helpful. Okay, so hey, I'm gonna try to be quick in this video. So let's go ahead and dive into it. So in the first question, we are looking to determine whether or not, which table represents a function. If we will remember, a function is where the x, for every one x value, there's one y value. In other words, the x's cannot repeat. So the x's can't repeat, okay, and that's what we're looking for to determine which table is a function. Okay, and so in A, it is not a function because those two threes repeat. In B, it's not a function because the zeros is repeating. C, it is a function, not any of the numbers are repeating. And then in D, it's also not a function because you have the ones that repeat. Okay, all right, so question number 2. Which set of ordered pairs, which of them is not a function? So we're looking for the one that is not a function. Okay, so I'm looking at the x values because the x's cannot repeat. 1, 2, 3, 4, that is a function. Okay, then we got -1, 0, 1, 2, that is a function. We're looking for the one that is not a function. -1, -2, -3, -4, that is a function because none of them repeat. Then we got 3, 2, 1, and then 3, and this is a function, is not a function because the threes repeat. All right. Question number 3, what is the domain? Okay, so domain, remember Dixie Royd, okay, domain is the x value. So domain equals x values. Okay, and so we're looking at the x values for this each. All right, so and we're just going to put them in order from least to greatest. So we got -1, we got 1, 3, and 4, and so our answer is C there. All right, moving on. Which of the following relations is a function? Okay, and so remember, for it to be a function, the x's can't repeat. Okay, the x's can't repeat. In other words, also we can, we're looking at the x-axis and we're making sure that, you see, in this one, there's 2 values on the x, on this -1 along the x, so that is not a function. And this one, there's 1 point here, 1 point there, 1 point there, 1 point, okay, so that one could be it. This one has 2 points along the 2 spot. Actually, and again, this is at the -1, so there's 2 that would have have the x as +2, and then the same thing here. Okay, if you remember, this is called the vertical line test. If I draw a line and it touches at 2 points, then it is not a function. All right, so the answer is B there. All right, okay, now we're looking at trying to figure out the domain and the range. Again, remember, domain is the x values, the range is the y values. Okay, so I'm going to start with the domain. I'm looking along the x-axis. Okay, so I'm going to say -5. So -5. Again, this is domain. No, -5, and then -3, and then 1, and then 2. And then 4. Okay, all right, so that's looking like it could be, all right, it could be B, but I'm going to finish this and make sure. Okay, so now I'm looking at the range. Now I'm looking at this y-axis. I'm going to start from the bottom. So I got -3. Okay, then I got -2. Then I go up, I got a 1. Then I got 4. And then I got 5. All right, and so my answer is B there. Okay, we could also write the ordered pairs for each. So we got -5, 4. That's what most of you probably did. -3, -2. This is 1, -3. this is 2, 1, and then this is 4, 5, and then look at all of the, again, all of the x's, okay, either way. All right, question number 6, what is the range? Okay, so range, again, Dixie-roid, okay, range and the y value, so range equals y values. All right, so I'm looking at the y's, looking at all the y's, and then I make sure it's in order from least to greatest, -3, -1, 2, and then 5. So my answer is A. All right. The table below, what's the domain? Again, domain, okay, talking about the x values. So we got -3, -2, I'm sorry, -3, -1, 0, and 5. Okay, and again, you got to make sure these other ones have those numbers, but it also has some more. So you make sure that you pick the correct one. All right, just looking at the x values. All right, moving on. Which question below would best represent a scatter plot? Okay, so all throughout this unit, we've defined a scatter plot as it shows the relationships between two sets of kind of data. All right, and so the key word we're looking for is relationship. All right, so spread would be, remember when we did a box plot, we're showing how spread out the information. Frequency distribution, that's a different type of graph. What is the relationship? Again, that word relationship is the key there between test scores and English scores. Okay, those are our two sets of data, and scatter plots don't deal with percentages. All right, that's percentages of all students. That's in each grade level. That's kind of one set of data. Right, so we need two sets, and again, it shows the relationship. That is the key. All right, so relationship. All right, a researcher is interested in finding out that if there's a correlation between the amount of numbers of hours spent playing video games and the average amount of sleep they get each night. What method of data collection? So you're collecting data. How would you collect how much sleep people get and the amount of video games? Well, to measure that, I don't know what technology requires, measuring sleep, maybe just a watch or whatever, but that's probably not the best way to collect information. That would be hard. Surveys would be asking people, hey, how much do you sleep? Hey, how much do you play video games? That could be a good way. Experiments, that could be really involved. Again, you would need, to control things a lot more. And then making observations. You're not going to roll up in somebody's house and, watch them sleep. That'd be creepy. Don't do that. And so surveys is the best way, right? Would be the most appropriate. I think most appropriate also being a key word there. Surveys, just asking them. All right. Hey, so question number 10. Here you are looking at each of the tables and determining which scatter plot best represents the data. So for each of these, it's going to be super important that you graph every single point and make sure that it is correct, because there might be a graph that has like 1 or 2 points correct, but then the other ones are wrong. So you can't just graph the first two and see them like, oh, that's the one. Please make sure that you graph all of the points and check them to make sure that they are correct. All right, so we got height along the y-axis, we got weight along the x-axis. So we're going 130 and then 140. So we got a point right there. Then we got 50. I'm just graphing number one. Letter A. 50 and then 160. Over 50, up 160, okay? 60 and 170, okay? 60 and 175. So far this is looking like this is the answer, but again, I want to make sure that all of them is true. So 75 and 180, that was good. 80 and 185, that's good. And then 85 and 190, that's good. Okay, so hey, for the sake of time, I'm not gonna, but again, you see how I graphed all of the points. You certainly need to make sure you do that when you are solving a problem like that. Okay, so same thing for number 11. Okay, looking at the table, which scatter plot best represents the data. Make sure you pay attention to the coordinates. This time temperature is the x, visitors. So we're gonna go temperature, we're going over 66, then we'll go up 3. Okay, that point looks right. Then we go 79. Okay, that looks right. Then we go 74 to 14. Okay, that's looking about right. All right. Then we go 79 to 26, and 26 would be, yeah, that's about right. All right. Let's go let's go 83 to 34. Okay, 83 to 34. Okay, that's looking about right. 87. Okay, 87 to 51. Okay, that's looking about right. And then 94. 94 would be before this, and 78 would be. So if you see all of these points, they were all right except for the last one. Okay, so again, this is a perfect example of, hey, you can't just graph a couple of them and think you got the right answer. And this was wrong. Okay, all right, so let's look at the next one. We got 66 and 3. Okay, 66 and 3. Hold on, that one's wrong because 3 should be down here, so that's not right. And first point's wrong on that one. All right, so go 66 and 3. That's right. Then we got 70 and 9. Okay, that looks right. 74 and 14. Okay, that's right. 79 and 26. Yep, that would be about right because that would be 30. 83 and 34. That's right. 87 and 51. Yep, that's money. And then lastly, 94. Yep, 94 would be before 95, and then up 78. Perfect. So my answer is C. Again, perfect example of how you must solve all of them. Okay? All right, moving on. Okay? And then in this one, you just got to take you have the scatter plot. Now you have to match each of the tables to the correct. So in this one, number 12, all right, 192. Okay, well, 1 and 192. Okay, that's right. 2 is over here, weeks, and then 186. That's 185, 186. Okay, that was right. And then 3 and 180. 3 and 180, and that is also right. So again, you can double check. For the sake of time, I'm not going to do this in order to make the video short, but again, I would 1 and 195. Well, 195 would be up here, so I know that one's wrong. Okay, so you want to verify all the other ones are incorrect, or at least make sure you have checked all of the points on a particular table, but those are all wrong. All right, moving on. Question number 13, which best describes the relationship? Okay, so we're looking at the relationship. We're going from left to right. My values are going up. Okay, they are going up. So that is a positive. If they're going up, that is a positive relationship. All right. Okay. This one, it says the scatter plot shows the weight of different vehicles along with their fuel efficiency, miles per gallon, which statement best. So first off, I can see that as I'm moving from left to right, this is a negative relationship. Okay, so if I have a negative relationship, that means that one is increasing and the other is decreasing. Okay, so as the weight of the vehicles increase, the miles per gallon increase. That's wrong because, again, if it's a negative relationship, one is positive and one is negative. One is increasing, one is decreasing. Okay, as the weight of the vehicles decrease, the miles per gallon decreases. Well, that's also not true because, again, negative relationships is one increases, the other decreases. All right, as the weight of the vehicles decrease, the miles per gallon does not change. Well, that's not right because, again, we see that as the weight moves, they have some relationship. And then lastly, as the weight increases, so as you move this way and the weight increases, the miles per gallon decrease, right? It's going down. And so that is the correct answer there. You certainly want to make sure that you are paying attention to the axes here, right? As weight is increasing, miles per gallon is decreasing. All right. select all of the scatter plots that have a negative relationship. Okay, so this is positive. This is also positive. This is negative, going down. This one that's negative because that's also going down. Okay, this one is positive, and then this one is also negative going down. All right, so C, D, and F. All right, question 16. All right, define each of the relationships. Positive is going up. This one all scattered, so it has no relationship. And then this one is going down, negative. All right. Okay, Mr. Eaton, use the graph to determine a good day to go to Busch Gardens in the summer. He does not want to go to the park if it has over 100 people there, since it can only accommodate 1,000 people, right? So we got to find the relationship. Okay, so we know this one is also a negative because it is going down from left to right. Okay, so as the temperature is increasing, the number of people is decreasing. As the temperature increases, the number of people is decreasing. So this one says as the temperature increases, people increase. That's not right. As the temperature increase, the people decrease. As the temperature increase, people decrease. That's right. The temperature does not affect. Okay, well, that's clearly there's a relationship that's shown there. As the temperature increases, people stay the same. That's not. All right, so there you go. All right, and question number 18. All right, using the graph determined below, the best describes the relationship between the number of hours studied. All right, so again, look at the relationship. We're going from left to right. It is increasing. All right, so it's a positive relationship. Okay, so this is a positive relationship. So as the numbers of hours is increasing, so is the test scores. So as the number of hours studying increasing, test scores also increase. And that is our answer there. All right. You could go through the remaining ones. All right. We're looking for the line of best fit. Remember, line of best fit, it is going through the data with half of the points being above, half of them being below. Okay, so which of these would be the line of best fit? That one cuts through and there's a lot above. That's not right. This one's all of them are above. That one's not right. You have a few is kind of toward the middle, and there's a couple above. There looks like a lot above or below here, but it's also, there's connected to those. And let's look at the last one. Well, this one, the relationship is positive, but the line is going the opposite way, so that can't be right because it doesn't show the relationship. So the answer is C there. And then lastly, which line shows the line of best fit? This one has all of the points below it. Okay, this one just cuts straight, right? It's supposed to be a positive relationship, so that one's not right. This one has a positive relationship, so maybe. And then this one, again, the dots it's a positive relationship, but it shows a negative, so that isn't right either. So our answer is C. All right. Hey, I know I flew through those, but hopefully you see these questions are pretty straightforward, guys. And so, hey, make sure you like this video, put some comments in the chat if this helped you. And hey, happy studying. Good luck on the Unit 7 assessment.